So today I thought I'd do a bit of an experiment and see which camera is best. I've got 4 of them. This will be fun. Great result. And this morning's little one, a bit of an experiment. I just wanted to compare 4 different cameras and see which one's going to be any good. And the idea of this one is not to prove which one's bad, it's hopefully to try and prove that it's not always equipment, and to also sort of say about how mobile phones, because that's one of them I'll be using, use software to make the images look a bit better. So after we've taken these and we've shown them, I'll probably do a little bit at the end of showing detail, you know, a bit of a close-up, so you can see how, or hopefully show how mobile phones are not as good as you think they are, or as good as you think they are. We don't know until we... The 4 cameras is my very first DSLR, which is the Canon 350D, the modern DSLR, which is one that I pretty much use quite a lot when I go out, the M50, which I'm using at the moment to do the videos, and the Samsung Galaxy S22. And I've got to be quick because the sun's going to rise soon. I've come to be trusted place to do this one, as if you didn't already know that. I'm going to try and just see if the settings are going to work, if they're the same. They're going to be slight differences because of obviously as that sun is going to be coming up, I'm going to be swapping equipment and that over. So it's going to probably be pretty difficult, but having said that, I'm going to do my best with this one. So yeah, Canon 350D, I can't actually remember the full specs of it, but all I know it's only an 8 megapixel camera. One of the things with it as well is that the LCD screen at the back is so small. Yeah, it's not the best thing to sort of use for fine-tuning your composition. You've got to do it all from the viewfinder as well, because it doesn't have a live view capabilities on it. That's how old it is. I think it's back to 2003 if I remember rightly. I'm not too sure. I'll double check the stats when I'm at home and put them up on screen. This is my number 1, which I'm obviously going to do the first one with, and then the Samsung. And then hopefully I'll have to stop recording and quickly get one with the M50. Why do I want to do this? Well, do you know what? It's a bit of a challenge really, just to sort of see whether you know, old versus, you know, DSLRs versus a bit more modern DSLR versus a mirrorless versus your phone, just to give a bit of comparison. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. So the composition I've actually got in mind on this one is, I've done it a few times before, but as I say, because of the sunrise and different cloud cover and thing, the result always changes, and it's why I like doing it. So where are we? We've got, I've actually come back a little bit from where I normally am to try and get a few more of the rocks in just on that bottom part. I'm not too sure on whether I think it's a bit more cluttered, I don't know. I mean, I can soon crop it out. And then we've got obviously the rocks leading in from that left-hand side. It's not the rocks that I did last week. They're a little bit further up, which I passed them on the way. Yeah, I'll leave a link for that video. That's pretty much it. That sun, it should be pretty much there actually, because the sun should be around about 16 minutes past, which it is now. So we should be there, but there is a little bit of cloud over there, so we've got to wait for it to break through. I'm not too sure about actually giving settings on this one, purely because it's probably going to change from image to image, but we're probably looking around for the 2 DSLRs and probably the M50 in that as well. You're looking, I'm going to be on ISO 200 because obviously we're still sort of, it's not exactly bright, but we're not blue out, so 400 is probably going to be a bit of an overkill. And around about f11 and about 20th of a second. I'm trying to keep the equipment roughly the same, so they're both going to be using kit lenses, the 18 to 55, that's both on those. On the M50, I ain't got an 18-55 for it, but it's the 15-45, which is pretty close. And obviously mobile phones are, well, you can't really say what lens it is in it because they're not interchangeable, which is not really a good thing. It's a bit of a downside on mobile phones. Yes, it may have 3 different cameras on the back, and when you're using software trickery to make your image look good, well, you're onto a losing one. Although you can get sort of different things that you can clip on for magnification and all this sort of business. But I'm thinking, if you're going to go to that expense, just buy yourself one of these. Never see the point. Never see the point. But never mind. Oh, the sun is just poking up. It's just poking up. Right, onto the 350. And I'll try to get it set up before okay. Switching back again. Oh no, I've got to do the M50. Sorry, I'll turn you off for a minute. And I'm back, and quickly do it with the mobile. Here we go. Whew, that was close. I might put my proper camera back on there. Oh, that's one thing I like about me tripod. I'm changing this tripod soon anyway, but one thing I like about this is the all the cameras got the same bracket on the bottom, and you can slot it in and out of, because both I've got 2 of the same tripods, by the way, so I can just interchange really quickly. None of this unscrewing rubbish, just click in, click out. A little bit of a showcase now of showing them all, and then we'll have a bit of a chat. Well, we're just doing a future meet, and we're going to look at some of the detail for the difference with the smartphone and the cameras as well, and just to point out just a few differences. So first off, you're going to actually notice that on the Samsung, now the level on the Samsung itself was saying that this was the horizon was dead level, and it ain't, so that's out. Now it's not a big problem because you can soon alter that, you know, it's not a major issue, but it's still out. But one thing I want to draw the attention to is the detail. Let's just zoom right the way in. So the detail's not looking too bad until we get down to here where the rocks are and the grass. If you look at the detail in the grass, it is very, very poor, very poor. The same on the rocks. It's very, yeah. And the reason for this is because obviously once the picture was taken, the software itself was trying to enhance the rocks on the front because they were quite sort of dark. And the thing is, when it's done this, it's increased and put a lot of noise into the image. So even when you back out, it looks quite sharp, but once you zoom in, you can actually notice the noise. So we're just going to actually move on to, let's go on to the 350, just quickly get onto that, and you can see the difference. Now the 350 is only an 8 megapixel camera, but we're going to go down to the same area. So yeah, it's a little bit darker, but it's not too bad, but the detail is still there. And it may look a little bit out of focus, but that's purely because I can't get the focus done properly using the same method that I do on others, which is I use the live display, zoom in, manual focus, zoom out. You can't do it on 350, so you're actually relying literally on that little tiny little or the cameras that do the autofocus itself, which, let's face it, wasn't 100% brilliant, but Having said that, not bad at all. I mean, for me, I actually prefer even that over the mobile phone. Let's just move on to the 2000D, which is my main camera. And you see the same again. The detail is just so much put, and even on the grass, it hasn't. No noise or anything here. The difference is immense, and even the detail. I mean, look at that. I mean, zooming into that little bit of water there. I mean, it's so much different, and even the colours. So let's just quickly nip on to this one. Now this one's the M50. I can actually go right the way into the grass here, like I did on the mobile. Now just look at that. The detail is so much better, even on the rocks. The focusing on the M50 is brilliant. I love it. It really is fantastic. And even if, you know, fair distance away, the detail's still there. It is brilliant. Down on the rocks, nice, sharp, no noise, perfect. But let's just go back to the mobile phone. Let's just zoom into these rocks. Just look at the difference. Just look at the difference. It's, yeah, you can seriously notice the difference. And this is really why I actually wanted to do this particular thing, which just so that people can actually see that mobile phones are fantastic, and they really are. I mean, you can get some really nice. I mean, I've took quite a fair few, and over the years. And the thing for me is that they are really handy for that, you know, quick thing you can put on social media or what have you. But I mean, when it comes down to doing, you know, a bit more hobbyist or even professional stuff, they just can't really cut it. I mean, even compared to an old 350D, which is really old, it's only an 8 megapixel camera, and the difference between the two is noticeable. I mean, I prefer the image slightly on the 350 than I do on the mobile phone, but this is more things like the colour and the saturation is a lot better. It's not so harsh, as opposed to on, I mean, specifically on Samsungs as well, is they really whack the saturation up to, you know, people go, oh wow, and you know, it's not really. But anyway, enough of that waffling, and let's get back out into the field. So if you are sort of wanting to do a little bit more with your photographs as opposed to using your mobile phone, because that's the fact they are handy to carry around, then you might want to probably consider maybe not something expensive like a full DSLR, but you can pick up some, you know, pretty half decent older cameras as well. They're still pretty good. And my advice is, if you're just starting out, and it's probably the best thing to start to learn with, are the older cameras. A couple of reasons. One, good learning scope. Two, it's not going to break your bank. That 350 you can probably pick up for about 50-60 quid on MPB. Not sponsored, by the way, but I will leave a link to MPB down below. And get yourself something like that, just to try to see if that's the way that you want to go. If you're more wanting something a little bit more compact, the M50, got a review coming up for that one. I'm sort of part of the way through it. It's coming. Which is a lot smaller, but you can do everything on it that you can do on a normal, you know, main camera, like, you know, your R's and your R5s, R6s, well, you can do exactly all of that on it, but it's small and compact. But you can also get interchangeable lenses, and this, so all about what you want to do. And there's me walking back to the car, and I'll just walk past it. Thanks for joining me on this one. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. So take care, stay safe. I'll see you soon.